Howdy, it's Uncle Paul, and it's time to make sure Hurley is comfortable for the winter. Kiss, kiss. Well, the cold weather has finally hit. We've had overnight temperatures down in the mid-20s this week, and I didn't have any sweatpants, so I went to Walmart to get me a cheap pair for less than $7. They probably won't last very long, but I also gathered wood in the backyard so we could build fires this winter. We didn't build any fires in the fireplace last year for some reason. I don't know why, but we're going to remedy that, and this winter, we're going to enjoy some cozy evenings by the fire. Okay, I just wanted to show you a couple of book finds recently. Actually, they both came in the mail yesterday, the same time. I ordered them at different times, so it was a nice little surprise. But I went on Amazon and got them used. And this is a book I've wanted for a long time by C.S. Lewis, Mere Christianity. So I finally broke down and bought it. And it is in great shape. You know, no markings inside. Binding is great. I mean, it's almost in perfect condition. So this book, you know, the price of it, the taxes, and the shipping was all less than $6.50. I mean, you can't hardly beat that. And then another book that I wanted to help me continue to learn about fitness and the human body and everything. It's been a long time since high school and college classes. And this is a big book. And it's in great shape. Once again, Amazon, got it used. I've only seen a couple of things that were marked in here because it asks questions at the end of each chapter and everything. But this book, which is marked for $16.99 originally, this, with the taxes and the shipping all included, was less than $9. So I couldn't pass those up. I am trying to watch my pennies these days, and these were a couple of good buys. Okay, for those of you who are concerned about Hurley, wanting to make sure that he's nice and warm for the winter, because he is an outside dog for good reason, I did a video. Oh, hi, Hurley. Hi. I did a video last year of what I did to his doghouse to winterize it. So I'm just giving you a quick little summary of it again this year. Now, I have it. It's a small plastic doghouse. Okay, Hurley. It's a small plastic doghouse. Okay, here's a treat. You want a treat? All right. Okay. There's a little one. All right, go away now. Okay. And it's perfect for his size. It is on a mat here, which is fuzzy, and yes, good boy, which protects it from the cold concrete slab. And then inside, last year, I had put, you can't see, but I had, you can a little bit, some insulation on the top, the bottom, the sides, the back, everywhere, because the top comes off, so I could do that easily enough. Then you see I have a pillow back there, which is from a love seat that he used to love to sit on at my house and look out the front window. And so, yeah, I know you're getting impatient. So that helps block some of the cold from the back that he can snuggle up with. I put a blanket in there, as you can see, which he maneuvers in whatever way he wants to make a little cubby hole. And then for the outside, I draped this blanket on it to help also insulate it a little bit. Tucked it underneath, down there underneath the house, and left this flap here, which helps protect from the wind on the sides and the top, and it also helps keep in some of his body heat as well. So he always seems real comfortable, and his belly's always warm whenever I get out here first thing in the morning and play with him. Yeah, good doggy. Good morning, Hurley. How are you doing this morning, buddy? Yeah. Oh, good morning. Yeah. It only got down to 38 degrees last night, I think. Good boy. You want a treat? Do you want a treat? There you go. All right. to show you guys some of the range of motion stretches that I do in the morning, usually after I have a little bit of coffee in me and the house is dark, nobody else is up, and it's kind of like a time of meditation almost. So I really enjoy it. I think it's really helpful for me to kind of get my day off to the right start. And this is all simple stuff, but of course, you know, I'm not a physical trainer, a physical therapist, anything like that. So usually it's a good idea to check with somebody like that or your doctor before you do any stretches. So, but these are very simple, and I like doing them on the ground. Most of them you can do on the ground, but you can do some of them sitting in the chair or on the edge of the bed. So I usually start off with just stretching my hamstrings. I do usually a couple sets of 10 or maybe a couple sets of 20, a count of 20. I do them individually, 2 sets of 10 or maybe 2 sets of 20. Just kind of take my time, and it's always a good idea to, if you stretch far enough, if you start feeling pain, to ease back on it. Don't do it if it's painful. Most of these are for my joints. And they're all kind of beginner type things. But so the next thing I like to do is do my neck, stretch my neck muscles. And I always try to have a straight back, keep my back straight, and I bring my head down and my chin into my chest. Once again, don't go far enough to where it hurts. But I do usually to a count of 10, and then I put my head back looking up at the ceiling and do a count of 10, and I'll do 2 sets of those. Then I look to my left like I'm looking over my shoulder. Don't let it hurt. Do a count of 10, and then I move to the right. Usually I do 2 sets of 10. Then I like to do my shoulders, stretch my shoulders a little bit. I just pull my arm across, and I hold it and apply some pressure, some tension, and I'll do a couple of sets of 10. And then of course I do, once again, with my left arm, the same thing, a couple of sets of 10. Then I like to do my wrists. So I put my arms out, keep my back straight, put my arms out, and I point my fingers, my palm upward, and I'll even pull back with my other hand. Once again, this especially since you're pulling back, don't make it hurt. Don't let it hurt. Once again, I just do a couple of sets of 10 is all I typically do. Sometimes I do more than that. My right hand. Count of 10. Okay, then the next thing I do is my ankles. So let me lay down here, see if that gets me laying down. I pull up my knees, keeping my feet flat, keeping my back flat on the ground, and I'll extend my leg out and keep it just a few inches above the ground. If you can see that. Okay. And I point my toe out as far as I can, and then a count of 10, and then I'll pull it back as far as I can. Do a couple sets of 10 on that, and then I'll rotate it for the same thing, a count of 10, 2 different sets. And then of course I do the same thing with my left leg as well. Okay, so a stretch for my knees, just a range of motion for my knees, very simple. I put my hands on my knees and I just lift up my foot, lift up my leg for a count of 10, place it back down, and I'll do that for maybe 3 sets of 10. And there is resistance with me on doing this because of my belly. My belly takes up all of my lap, so it takes more effort to pull up that leg. Where I get all of these is from my own research and books that I've read, and also YouTube videos. Now, for my elbows, very simple. Just have your elbows, your arms here at a 90-degree angle, and just pull your arms up like this, and twist your palms as you go up, twist them back down as you go down. And I usually do 3 sets of 10 on these as well. Now, I was sitting on the ground doing my hamstrings earlier. One thing you can do if you can't get on the ground to do those is sit on the edge of the bed. Now, I used to do this a long time ago. I would put one leg up on the bed and stretch that way, and then put my other leg up and stretch then as well. That's what I do. There's not much to it, but it sure does make me feel a little bit more limber. And there are other things that I do as far as stretches, things from my back and some other things, and I'll show those to you at another time. Well, it is Saturday afternoon. Ethan's doing a little bit of yard work back there, so is my sister-in-law Shelly. But now, I had a couple days this week that weren't great, at least parts of 2 different days, and kind of got a little off track when it came to eating, and so I decided on Friday that I would fast all day. Now, I practice intermittent fasting, where I eat all my food for the day in an 8-hour window from noon to 8 p.m. And I'm pretty good about that. It may fluctuate just a little bit, but I'm pretty good about that. But since I got off track a little bit this week, I thought I would just fast all day. And for me, I made it into a spiritual thing. So that was kind of the context for that. But I look forward to tomorrow seeing if I have salvaged anything for this week. But that's how it goes sometimes. And, you know, I got to get ready for this coming week and Thanksgiving. There'll be some temptation there, I'm sure. Good Sunday morning. Well, let's just get right to the scale. Okay, Hurley, let me weigh first, okay? And then I'll come out, all right? Okay, last week it was on 37.5 at 200. So let's see what it is this week. Okay. 36.5. 35. 35 and 34.5. 34. 33. Well, I'll tell you what, let's go back to 34. 34.5. Okay. Alright, we'll call that 34.5. That is 34.5, 35, 36, 37, 3 pounds. Okay, guys, that's 3.5 pounds on the week after I've messed up fairly good a couple of times, so I will definitely take that. Guys, thanks for watching. Please have a happy and safe Thanksgiving. Please watch, like, subscribe to these videos and share them, and I'll see you next week.